Hello everyone, this video is the continuation of part 1 of student exam report card in MVC. In the part 1 video we have built the simple that new student marks. First here they are calling that new student marks, and here there is an option that design parts. First here they will enter the student name, then class name, then roll number, and they will select that exam. First term, second term and final term. And next they will select that marks, that is first they will select that subject, then they will enter that total marks, then marks obtained. That is a marks obtained. Once they are going to click on add to list, it will be add into the table. Once they are going to click on save, so it will be saved into the database. One thing we have noticed, once you are going to click this open model, once you are going to click outside, it's going to close. So because there is a problem, once that user will enter and they already added 4 5 and he once by mistake he click outside, then it will be closed. That is not good. So how you can prevent? Just open the Visual Studio and here you can write like that data, that is a backlog, sorry, backdrop equal to static, and one more, that is a data keyboard dash keyboard equal to false. Okay, now save it and reload again. Click on new student mask. So see, once you are going to click outside, see it's not going to close. Once you will press close, then it will be closed. See, you can see it's not closing. Okay, now next step. Now going to create that view model, because we need to insert that particular details, that it will be the student details and student master. First open that student master. So how much record? That is a name, exam ID, class name and roll number. Let's create one view model. Go to the view model and here add the class, keep the name, that is a student, view model. This one is your actually master. Now here add some properties. First one is that just check name, exam ID, class name, so that it will be the string, name will be the string name. Then second one is that class name. Here I am going to write like a student name. So it will be easy to differentiate what is that name, so that you will say that this one is a student name, this one is a class name. The next one is that exam ID and roll number. So exam ID will be the integer, so here you can write like a integer, exam ID, then roll number. So roll number will be a string. Okay, that is done. Now next, one more view model will be required. So add class, so that is a student marks. So write that student marks view model. Now here also first one will be just for close now. What all things is required for student details? That is a student ID, subject ID, total marks obtained, marks obtained. That's all. Subject ID, total marks. So here that subject ID will be the integer. So here you can write like a subject ID. Next one will be the your marks, the total marks. Okay. The next one will be the your obtained mark. 10 marks. And last one is that your percentage, that will be the decimal, that is a percentage. So that particular will be the details. So add it here, open that your student view model. Here it will be list of list of student marks view model. So here it will be the list of student marks view model. Okay, that is done. Now we are going to add that index. Open the index page and add the reference of JavaScript. You open the script folder, that mean.js. Okay, now when you start that script, type is equal to your JavaScript, then here document.ready, then function, just check that one, the table name. What's the table name? ID is table student marks. First one is subject, total marks, marks obtained, and percentage. Okay, so here going to add one function, add marks into table. So that variable table or marks table is equal to ID selector, this one. Now check the add to list button. What's the name of that? Add to list. This one is that. Give the ID equal to button add to list. It will come here, color, that will be the ID selector, dot click. So here inside that need to add function, then save it and call this value. Now check that first one is that your student marks. This one is a subject ID. Subject ID is a drop down. Let's see the ID. This should be total marks. No, because this one is a drop down, right? This was for subject, so we should write like a DD subject. So copy this one. So you will get the value. First I will get the value for ID. So here write where subject ID. So how will you get dollar that dot value, then you will get ID. Write subject dollar that your ID selector. So here option selected colon selected dot text. So you will get the text of subject. The next one is that after subject it will come the total marks. So what's the total marks? So txt total marks. So where total marks to dollar ID selector dot value, that is a total marks. The next one is that marks obtained. So just check that ID. This one is a marks obtained. So here that one variable that will be marks obtained. So dollar that ID selector same dot value, that is your marks obtained. Then variable that will be the percentage. So first parse int, that is your stored scored marks into, divide marks obtained this one total marks. So parse, it will be the integer, and here for this one need to multiply 100. Now it will calculate your percentage. Okay, so this value will need to add into the table. So how will add? First we'll make that row value. So it will be first one will be the tr, then td. Okay, first one is tr, then td. So td will be the first value is that, what is the first? Subject, then total marks. Subject will be your string. Okay, subject is done. Then close tr tag, sorry td tag, then open again td tag. After subject it will be the total marks. Just add the total marks. The same things need to add here. Just copy and paste it here, the td. After total marks it will be the marks obtained. So it will be the marks obtained plus your td, close the td, open the td. It will be the open the td. Okay, so after marks obtained it will be the percentage. So just add the percentage, press enter. So again that here you close the td, open the td. After that one things need to be add, that is will be the button. So button for remove. So I'm going to use span. So here I'm going to write just span. So what will the span will do? We're going to add one button. Just add for button for now. I'm going to add one button. So button input type equal to button, value is equal to remove, text a name is equal to remove, and on click going to call one function remove marks. This one need to add. So this all should make a single quote. Just copy this one, and on click there will be the function. Inside the function will pass that ID. Just copy here and paste it this one. So this ID click, it will be your subject ID. After that your TD will close, and then TR here. Okay, this one will be the last one, will be the your TR. Now we're going to add this value dot append. So what we are going to append, that particular row value. Okay, just save it. Let's check one times. One TD close. Oh, this one should be TD will be the open. One more thing here, that in the table I have added subject, total marks, marks obtained, percentage. One more going to add. This one I can write like an action. This one will be the action. Okay. Now if we run the application, because subject, total marks, marks obtained, percentage, and action. Okay. Action means like a remove. If I want to remove that particular row, that particular marks, so it will be removed from here. Click on new student marks here. So I'm going to write like a 100 and you got 50. So if you click on add to list, it should be subject should come here. Just close. Check that one. There is some mistake here. There is a mistake. This one should be saved here. One more thing here, this one should be has, make it has, and the calculation marks obtained divided by total marks, that is okay. It should be here. Percent, this value, and here this value, then 100. Now save it. Everything is okay. That remove. Here I'm going to add that class also. That class. So it will be the button dash danger. Save. Now reload. Click on new student mark. If you are going to add that 100, now press 50, add to list. Here 50%. This one is coming 50%. 100. Now if you change to that signs, now I'll check 200 marks 75. Click add to list. So it's a 37.5%. Okay, that everything is okay. That remove button is also coming here. This one I'm going to change to default. The rest of things is okay. Okay. Otherwise we will change this value. If I'm going to change this particular value to the trace. Okay. Now something need to check. Validation here. First one validation is that we'll check if it's empty. That your this value, if it's empty, then alert, please select subject. Okay, return. And next one will be the after subject, it will be the total marks. So this one will be the total marks. If total marks is empty, then it will be please enter total marks. Okay, the next one will be your marks obtained. So here I'm going to write marks obtained. One more thing we can do, just this value we can focus also. Dot focus. Same for other. and this one for mass option. Okay, one more thing we need to add, that is if then total mass, that is a %, if that value, that mass option will be more, the %, then also it will should give error. To mass option always should be less than total mass. Okay, that one best. Now I'm going to add that into database. So stop debugging, open the home controller. Same, I'm going to add one more action method, that is your index, but this one will be the HTTP post. This one is a post, and next one I'm going to pass that particular, that is student view model. So here open student view model. Now create that object of a student view model. For now, this one it will be return JSON. So I'm just adding some value, nothing more, just I am adding some value. Now next, this one is the OBJ student view model. This one. Now open the index.chhtml. Let's start from here. That here I'm going to validate all those things. After validating, I'm going to create one more function, that is a function add student marks into database. So just I created one function. Otherwise we can add here also, so but it's going to be big, but value already added here, so that's why we can do from here also. So $.ajax, that function, in the ajax we can write async, this one will be the true, then type, it will be the post, the data type, the JSON, content type, then application / JSON, set equal to UTF-8. Okay, that is done. Then data will come. So I'm going to write like a data, simple, some string. After that, URL will be your home/index. Then I'm going to write function, and success, and it will be the function will return the data, and inside the data you can do. Next one will be the error is same like a function, so alert, there is some problem to processing your request. It is done. Now need to add the data. So create the where object. Next one, open that your student view model, then list of Mars model. So open the index.cshtml. Here it will be the this one. So first of all, that object student dot, this one will be first that student view model, it will be the student name. So copy this value, student name equal to, what's the student name? This one particular move into another function here. So what will be the student name? So here first we will get the student name. The student name will be, the text was txt name. I am going to change this one to txt student name. So student name will become here the dollar has dot value. So this one is your student name. The next one will be class name. So again going to create the where class name, then dollar, that id select dollar txt, what's the class name? This one is a txt class name. It will be txt class name dot value. This one is done also. After that class name, it will be the exam ID. So just here write where exam ID. So that also it will be the ID selector dollar, check the exam ID will be dt exam, just only dt exam. So exam ID will be that dot value, this dot value. Okay, the next one will be the where after exam ID, let's check that the student view model exam ID, then roll number. So it will be the txt roll number. This one is the txt roll number. So just write roll number. So same like a ID selector also, ID selector dot value. Okay, that is done. So here for the student name, I am going to add the student name object dot exam ID. So copy this exam ID, should be same that exam ID. So your exam ID will be this exam ID. After that exam ID, it will be class name. Let's check that dot class name. So class name will be this. After that class name, it will be the roll number, roll number has been added also. Now one more thing is that is your list of student Mars view model. This one also need to add. I'm not going to add this one, it's too much long. List of student Mars. So come to here, this one. If you make that list of student Mars, that answer will be correct. Now we have to make a for loop, $.each loop. So that $.each loop will do, we'll get that all those value from that table. So for here for data, so it will be the JSON dot string fy. So this one need to be added here. Okay, that is done. Only that is this one particular list value should be added. So it will be that your dollar dot each function first one will be that your table. What's the table? Table is your this table dot student mark. This one is the table. So that id selector that. So what the table one is that it's your tr. So every tr, then make the function of this. That is your. So first of all, one thing we have missed, that is your id, because for the every column, every row and one column, that id should be there, but here we didn't added the id. So what we can do, we can add one more th, that for subject id, but this one, that is your subject id. So in the table, the dynamic where we are adding the table, so need to add subject id also. So we will do, it will come here, that subject id. Okay, then plus, same like that, close this one, this particular tab. So td is close and td is open, then subject will add. Okay, yeah, this one is okay. So you will add, you are adding that your subject id also. So that is subject id will be added here. The next, because that column also you have added, if you will look this one, this particular column, subject id is adding. Okay. Now in the for which loop, first one is that your subject id. So where you can write like a subject id. First, how will get that subject id? So because in the loop you are already in that row, so dollar, so you are in row, this is that your row, then you'll find where that is the first column is that your td dot equal to, it will be the first column dot value. First column is only that label, right? This one little need to be changed, because what will happen, it will take that, if you use the tr, that means first header will be also take. So what we'll do that, we will take that greater than 0, means like a header part should be removed. So what we'll do, where table marks equal to same value, this should become same. Okay, but don't find, then same like that, tr should greater than 0, this one, and this table mark should become here. So what this one we will do, it will remove that one, it will be, so it will be skip that first row, that is a header row. So if we'll come to that down here, see this one is taking first, so this one is also one row, so you should skip this one while making the loop, you should skip that first one. So next one will be that first one is a subject. If we will go here, go to definition, first one is a subject, the second one is a total marks. So come to the here also, that where, so it will be the total marks. So same you should take, so total marks, which position it will be there, 0 1 2, the second position. So what the TD is your column, then it will take the second position. Done. Then third one is the marks obtained. Marks obtained. So this one will be the next part, that is a third one. So it will take the third one. Then percentage. So that where it will be percentage. So this one is the percentage. So copy this. Next 4 will be your percentage. Correct. Now this value we should add into that particular array, this array. So just first we'll create the one variable, that where your student marks, go to here, student marks will model equal to, make it here, and the student marks we should add. First one is the student mark is subject ID. So copy this, student marks will be subject ID. Subject ID will be this. Then student marks dot your total marks. So your total marks is here. Okay. Otherwise, what we can do, we can just replace this one also. This way. This way also you can do. So code will be little bit smaller. Then student marks dot, what will be the next, that you have obtained marks. So obtained marks. So what will be the obtained marks? You should copy this value. So marks obtained, so it should come here. Next, that is student marks dot your percentage. So copy that percentage. So percentage will be this. So copy this, paste it here, and delete this. It's not required. But this one should be added into here. So how you will add? Dot is a push method. So push. So this student mark you can add to here. Okay, that is done. Now this particular, if it is already added, so this value dot your list of student marks equal to your list of student marks. So let's come here. So if you will look this value, you can move it here, student. So if you want to code smaller, just copy this one, student name. This one should be class name. Your exam ID will be this. This one is your exam ID, and your this one is your roll number. So your code is little bit small. Just delete this one. It's not required. Okay. Now give the name, that ID for save. Once you are going to click on save, so give that ID equal to, that is a button, save. So this ID click, even we should come here. So it will be the dollar, that your ID selector dot click, that function. So here we should call that your save into database. Paste it here. Okay, that is done. So once you are going to click on save, it should come here, and here that all those data will be here. So it will be passed to that your home/index action method, home controller index action method. It will return the data. So what data will it will return? We can return that a successfully message. So go to the home controller. Here we should write like the first we will check that one if data is coming or not. Let's check one more time. Here we are making blank. This one you can move here. So every time it will create the object. Okay. Now make a breakpoint in the home controller here. Let's see that what data is coming. Run the application. Click student. Here I'm going to type a student name. It's like it. Take tuition. Class name is class 10. Roll number is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and first term, that final terms. So I'm going to write here total marks is 100 for English, then 20, add to list, and here that for science 100 total marks and I got 50. So click add to list. So that is already added. Now I'm going to click on save. Let's see. This breakpoint come here. Now you can see that class name is class 10, exam ID is 3, your final term, and list of records, it's coming that your records, see the data is coming, and next one is roll number, and that student name is coming. Now I'm going to save this data into database. Open, call that this entities. So make a breakpoint here. So first one, I'm going to save data into that student master table here. If you will look, that this table I'm going to add. So come to here. So first one is that student. That is a student master. Create the object of a student master. The new student master. Or inside of student master, I'm going to add the data. First one is the name. Name is like your student name. So I'm going to call that a student name. Okay. The next one will be the your class name. So that object dot class name. Okay. Then your exam ID. Outside dot exam ID. The next one is the roll number. That is a roll number. Or but next one, this one is the auto number. That is student ID is auto number. Okay. Now I'm going to add this data, that to student dot your student master dot add. So it will be, I need to add here. And now one more action would be called, that is a student dot save changes. That data has been save changes. So that first record will be add. Now next one, that is a details. So make a for each loops. Okay, it will come like a student dot list of student marks. This I'm going to add that item. Now that is a detail. Second one is a detail, that is student detail. Now create the object of a student detail. Student detail equal to new your student detail. Or inside of student details, here need to add your mark. First one is a mark software. Just write that one, mark software, no problem. So that item dot, here it will be the operand marks. Okay. The next one will be the percentage. So item dot percentage. The next one is that student detail ID. It will be the auto number. Then you have to write like a student ID. That is a student ID. So student ID will be the item dot your obj student master dot student ID. Then student ID is done. Then subject ID. So what is the subject ID? That item dot your subject ID. That is done. The next one is the total marks. So item dot total marks. Okay, this one is come. Now next thing is that object entities dot add, dot student details dot add. So what is going to be add? That is a dot student detail. Okay, that is done. Now again the save changes. It will be the same changes. So data will be set. Now need to pass new. First one is the message. So So then I'm going to write the message data successfully added. Okay, next one is that your status will be true. So two things I'm passing. First one is that your message, second one is your status, and here it will be the JSON behavior. JSON behavior dot allow get, this one. Okay, that everything is done. That first one I'm saving the your master. Then second one is the details we are saving. Let's see. Now open the index.cshtml. Go to that here. If here the data dot success. Okay, that is a success, means like it's true. If it is a success, let's see what's the value, because it should come from here only. That is a status, not success. So right here status. Then you alert. What's the alert? It's the data dot message. So that message should be seen like this. So copy this, or you can paste this one. Okay, now this one action thing. Here I am going to call. First let's save that one, then we will validate and reset that record. Just run the application. First check the database. Every thing should be empty. This is empty. Student master and student details, this both table has been empty. So click on student. Here I'm going to write like student name, take tuition, that class 10, roll number is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, then term I'm going to write second term English 100 marks, and you got 40. Then next should be science 100, and you got 60, and computer 100, I got 80. Click on add to list. Now if I'm trying to save, click on save. This data successfully added. Click on OK. So this should be reset. Everything should be reset. But for now, let's check the index table. That is a student master. Click on execute. So see that record has been displaying here. Next one, if I'm going to check in details, let's check. Data is coming. Your percentage, your marks obtained, and your student ID. That all things is coming. Now we will work on a reset part. Just like if I click added here, so this should be clear. Okay, now open the Visual Studio, create one function, reset marks details after saving. Okay, first one I'm going to reset this student name, class name, roll number, and that exam. Okay, so how will reset? So dollar txt student name. Just check the what's the name. Okay, you will get from here. So now to go somewhere, just reset blank, that your dt exam value. This one is actually it's a top round, so it should be 1. So by default 1 should be selected. Then class name, this also should be reset, so make a blank. Then the class name, then roll number also it should be blank. Okay, this all is blank. Now another thing's going to be delete the table. So just find out the table, this one is greater than 0, Why greater than 0? Because that header part should be remain, then remove. Okay, that is removed. Now that one is removed, but one more things, this should also be clear. Okay, this total marks obtained, this also should be clear. Okay, just open the video. So for this I'm going to add one more function, because that particular function I'm going to create. Once you are going to click add to list, this also should be reset. This should be blank, this should be blank. Once it added to list, this should be blank. So that's why I'm creating that one separate function. So I will call once you are going to click on add to list. So I'm going to reset your marks list. Okay, so how you will get the marks list? Come to the top here, this one is your subject should be, this one also should be reset. It will be the one that your marks list. This one is a subject. First you are going to select the subject. Next one you are selecting the total marks. So it will be total marks, so it will be blank. The next, after total marks, what you are adding, that is a marks obtained. So I'm going to add here, that is a marks obtained. So make it reset this one. This reset marks I'm going to call here also, and the student name, this one should be focus. Once you are going to add to next one, so this one should be focus. Okay, that is done. Reset marks I'm going to call once you are adding to the list. So where? Into the table. So if it's added, append, then reset. Should be reset. Okay, now reload. Let's see, just close, reload again, and one more thing, second reset. So here it should be focus. Here it should be focus, that English. Interesting. So next one is that I'm going to write like a tech tuition 2, class name class 8, roll number, you can add the roll number, anything. It's a first term, the first one will be English, then add the 100, it will be the 40, add to the list. See, this is empty now. So again select the math, so click the 100, I got 90, add to the list. So again in computer, if you select the 100, total marks is 100, now we got 80, click on add to list. Now once here I'm going to click on save, so that everything should be clear. Click on save, data successfully added, click on OK. I think there is a problem, we didn't call this method. Yeah, actually we didn't call that reset method. This reset method we should call once you are final, when you are getting that, yeah, here you should call this particular method. Save it and reload again, but that data is already saved. If we will look here, see text tuition 2, that all the record has been saved. See, record has been successfully saved. Now for the reset part we are checking. So again that second one is third one, 3, class 5, roll number, final term English 100, got 50, science 100, 30, computer 100, sorry, history 100, it's got 90. Okay, now click on save, got the data successfully added, click on OK. See, everything is reset here. right? Now we will check that one how to remove that records, because once we are going to adding some data here, okay, just like here you have added 150 add to list by mistake. So once you are going to click this one, this should be removed. See, it's removing. Let's reload. So that one you can do, because here you are passing that one, you have created that one. So just call this function here, function, and this one here. No need to pass that your subject ID, just pass this, and here you will get that row value, and what's the row value will do? This dollar dot closest, what closest? This would be tr dot remove. This one, just save it. Now reload again. Click on student marks. If you are adding 150, add to the list, and again if you are adding that 140, add to the list. So you are getting, once you are going to click this one, it will be removed. If you are going to click this one, remove, it's removed. Okay, that is part is done. Next we will check that we will validate something, just like, let's see here you are adding, just you are clicking that add to list. Okay, it's adding to the list, this one, right? If you are trying to same record, if you want to insert just like a 60, so it should give that one error message, because 2 times you cannot write. See this, here you have added 2 times, that English and English. Okay, this also should be validated. Open the Visual Studio, where you are adding to the list, this one here. Okay, actually this one you are adding to the list. So subject ID, you are getting the subject ID. Let's come to the here, because we have to match with the subject ID. Next what we will get the value, that is a dollar dot this one. This should be, once you are going to make each loop, so that also here also you should skip that header part. So now this one table dollar, okay, sorry, dollar dot each function, then this, then call the function, click it here. Okay, now where listed subject ID, what is the listed subject ID? So this one, that you actually are calling that row. So this row, this is the row, that particular row. Then which is next, then find dot find, what you are going to find, that your TD, which is equal to 0, then value. Or text. Now every time we will check if equal to, because it's integer, and this subject ID, if it will be match, then alert. Here I'm going to run where listed subject. So what is your listed subject? Second number is their listed subject. So that means like you can write like error message listed subject. First here subject, is already listed. Okay, then here we can make a return false. Just save it. Let's see, I'm not sure that one, maybe that it will be skip this one. Let's check one times. Reload. New student marks, and here the student is the tech, class name class C, roll number second. Here I need to check that first 50 if I added already. Again, if I want to try that 50 and this one should be 60, this one should be give the error message add, so that English is already listed. Let's see, once you are going to click on OK, so it's adding to the here because it's not skipping here, because once I am doing the return also it's coming here. So how we will do that, this problem solve, that variable is repeat or is return. Here I am going to make a false, and this one is return. Just delete this one. Is return equal to true. Make it true. If is return equal to true, then return false. This one will work. Just close, reload again. New student marks, just add that one student name, tech 267. This one actually is not required. First check it here only. 60, add it again, 100, 50. Let's see, once you are going to click on add to list, you get the message, click on OK. So this now it's not adding to list. Again, if you will try to add, English is already listed, click on OK. But if you change to science, then add to list, so it's adding to the list. So what we have done till now, just first one we have added that table. The table was added in the first session. So what we are doing, we are adding into the list. So I have created one function, that is your function add marks into the table. Here I am checking that one, if that is empty or not. If it's empty, then it will give the return error message, and if total marks is empty, then it will give the return message. If mark option is empty, then it will give the return message. And third one is checking that one, if total marks, if marks option is greater than total marks, then also it will return the error message. The next, I am adding to that particular list. While going to save that one, add to the list. Here I am checking that if it's already listed or not. This particular subject already listed into the table, so it's giving that one message. If everything is okay, so it's adding to the table. Okay. The next, what we have done, once you are going to click on save, just like here, this one, if you are going to click on save, so it should save into the database. That here, just check this one, the save one, this one is I have call this one. Okay, this data, This one, once we are going to click on save, so it's saving here. So first I'm checking that a table greater than 0. I already speak about that one. Okay, if first should be skip, that first header should be skip. So then I'm making the loop and adding into that object, that is student marks object. You should put here only. If you'll put outside, then always it will take the last value will be added every times. Then here call, then simple that async. Okay, this one async one, and after the returning the saving the resetting, I am resetting this one. Then I'll go to the home controller. So here you can see so this record. First I'm checking creating that object, I'm saving that object. Okay, you can see here I'm saving that object, and here I'm saving. So here this one is the details and this one is the master, and after that I'm returning the JSON. I hope it's clear. Thanks for watching. And the next video I'm going to display that records what's already I have saved, so it should be display here. Okay, once you are going to click on view, you can see the details, otherwise it will display here all those record.